Hi everyone! We are so excited to have you here with us as we're celebrating Pride. And even though June is packed full of activities, we wanted to take the time today to talk about the things that we do all year round. So my name is Mitch. I'm one of the program coordinators here, and I use he, him, his pronouns.
I'm Amy. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm the other program coordinator. And I can't believe you didn't have a question for us.
Ooh, that was an oversight. So my question of the week would be, I'm going to do this one because the birds are outside. So if you were a bird, where would you fly to?
I would want to be a bird that has longevity, so I don't have to be like a local bird. I can go wherever and vacation during the off months somewhere.
A snowbird.
So I would be some type of bird that would be able to do that, because I would want to go to like somewhere warm, probably Arizona, to visit my best friend. I'd be a bird that flies to Arizona when it's cold here.
I love that. So I've always said that if I am given the option to come back as an animal in a different lifetime, I want to be a duck. But specifically a duck that lives in the ponds of a certain theme park, because there's a popcorn cart right next to like this fenced off pond. So you get all the ambiance of being there without having to like deal with people bothering you as a duck who's just trying to live life. And then all the popcorn like falls through the fence down in there. And popcorn's my favorite food. You know this about me. And I just think that's a great way to live.
I always said that if I came back as an animal, I would want to come back specifically as my cat. He's spoiled rotten. Sonic, we don't need to hear any boofing from you over there.
Sonic's offended that you didn't pick him, so.
Oh, he's spoiled rotten. But I built my cat. I didn't build it. My partner built my cat a catio over the weekend, and we painted it all nice and fancy. So they have their own little like apartment tower outside. So I want to come back as my cat because I know how spoiled he is, because I do the spoiling.
Yeah, a little cat high rise, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about our cats or ducks eating popcorn. We wanted to talk specifically about what our program does throughout the month, or throughout the year, not just the month of June. So we do a lot of different programming all year long. It's always free. It's super accessible. We're still doing mostly virtual stuff right now. We're hoping to kick it into sort of a hybrid version as things start opening back up. Mitch and I are both fully vaccinated, so we're excited to be able to start doing things in person again. But we do a lot of things throughout the year, and we just wanted to highlight all of that because a lot of people don't know that we exist until they look for something, and we want to be there before you're in crisis so that we can help you prevent that a little bit.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to talk about is one of my favorite parts of our programming, which is our peer support programming. So what peer support programming means is that the groups that we facilitate are led by us as peers to the community. We are not mental health professionals. It's not like a clinical structured like group therapy situation, which I know is something that can be really triggering and is a very common misconception that we get. But what these spaces are is just a specific place for people to come and fully confidentially, right? Confidentially. What Amy said. Build community and, talk through just what's real for them with other people who get it. Mm-hmm. So we're really fortunate that we have a group for youth that identify anywhere in the LGBTQ community. It's called YANA, which stands for You Are Not Alone. That group meets every Monday, like clockwork, except for bank holidays, at 4, and is meeting currently over Zoom. So the other thing that's really nice is, although we primarily serve Ontario, Seneca, Wayne, and Yates counties, people who are looking for these groups and wanting to join can join from anywhere. So we've had youth join us from Monroe County out near Rochester is always welcome, from other places in the state, and even a couple of times from out of state as well. So it's a really awesome group. We always have a ton of fun. We do a lot of playing different games and sometimes some art projects, and really talking about empowerment and knowing our rights and healthy coping strategies through some of the tough times that our community can face. And it's one of my definitely favorite pieces.
Mm-hmm. We run 3 other groups as well, though. So when Mitch and I first met, it was just Yana and our Trans and Gender Expansive Coalition. The Trans and Gender Expansive Coalition meets on the first and third Thursday of every month, and that's for adults who are 18 and older who are trans or gender expansive in some way. It's just a place for everybody to come together and just talk a little bit about what they're going through, their experiences. Again, it's not a counseling situation. It's really just a peer support group. But when Mitch and I had first met, we met over a fruit salad at one of our all-staff meetings, and we were like, we want an LGBTQ, just straight up LGBTQ support group, and we want a parent support group. So over the last year or so, especially with the pandemic hitting, we had a little bit more time that we could do some more digging and some more curriculum building. And so last year, at the very end of last year, we were able to find and secure funding so that we could run 2 new support groups that we had set our sights on a year before that. So we now have what we call Haven, and that's on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of every month. And it's for LGBTQ adults who are 18 or older to come. Again, it's another peer support group. It's just a way to meet peers, hang out, chat, talk. Sometimes we talk about understanding what different personalities and dogs means. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we do talk about some more serious stuff about how we can support each other during some really hard times. So it's a really fun place to be. And then our parents group, we call Square One. So this is for parents, families, friends, anybody who has an LGBTQ person in their life or wants to be a better ally to the community. It's a place to come together and just ask some questions that we know we probably wouldn't be comfortable asking our family members, or, you know, we don't want to put that burden of having to answer those questions on our family member. So it's just a place for people to come together and say, like, hey, what does pronouns mean? Or, hey, my daughter just came out as trans. What do I do? There's a lot of really great conversations that we have, and right now we've been running it so that it's from 7 to 8 to sort of accommodate for people who have younger children, but we've seen that it's not been the most accessible, so we are going to be moving it up to 5 o'clock on Mondays. And that's the first and third Monday of every month. So it'll be a little bit more accessible, hopefully. That's another one that is fully virtual right now. We're hoping to make it a hybrid eventually.
Yeah. So to go back to Haven and the Trans and Gender Expansive Coalition, both of those groups are ones that can be attended concurrently. We added Haven so that people who are not transgender or non-binary or gender expansive have a space too. But lots of folks that attend our Trans and G Coalition actually attend both groups. And so they're with us every Thursday, which is really awesome. It's an awesome bunch of people with amazing resiliency and stories to tell. And we always end up talking about food, and we've done some recipe sharing that's been life-changing. Honestly.
I know.
So it's a really good time, but it's also just a way to know that you've got people out here, especially in a rural community. There aren't a ton of spaces that LGBTQ folks can get together and just talk about life and feel, safe doing so. So that's why we maintain the very strict confidentiality. I said it right that time.
You did.
And, work really hard to create these spaces. So we are on pause with groups during the month of June itself because Pride has got something going on almost every day, and so most of our folks are going to participate whatever suits their interests. But starting July 1st, we'll be back, and we always post our monthly schedules, so which groups are meeting, or if there's a break because of a holiday, on our Facebook page. So you can always reference that monthly calendar that comes out the last week of the previous month to know when groups are meeting.
Mm-hmm. On top of that, though, we don't just run groups. We do a lot of other work in our area and in our communities. So I specifically serve Ontario and Seneca counties, and Mitch serves Wayne and Yates counties. Sonic just found his favorite toy. I'm so sorry. He's just celebrating the work that we do.
He's very proud.
Oh, he's so cute. Anyway, so we do a lot of work within our communities itself. So I tend to focus more on domestic violence centered things, any sort of advocacy, filing for restitution from the Office of Victim Services. I can do that sometimes. We have case managers that we work with who do that. So we do a lot of different advocacy work. So that means that we can go to court with you. We can reach out to lawyers and city council members to sort of advocate for shifting language and using the right pronouns and names as they've been requested. We've had a lot of really great luck and respect from our communities in that way. We also provide our safe zone training, which is always free. It's about a 3-hour long training. It's just sort of a 101 dip your toes into understanding LGBTQ culture and society and how we as service providers can best serve our community. So we've had a lot of really great luck with that too. We've created community-wide ones, and then we've also had a lot of success in training local law enforcement. We've done libraries, we've done court systems, we've done agencies who do a lot of like social work centric work. So we're all over the place. We've done colleges. Mm-hmm. So if that's something that you would be interested in, you can always feel free to reach out. It's always completely free, and Mitch and I love doing it. So I accidentally overcommitted us last year. We're really passionate about it.
Yeah, to create a space to have these conversations. We're big believers that a safe learning environment and the education piece is our best way forward. And so I get excited about Safe Zone too. What's really nice is we're able to offer them both in person and virtually now. So whatever suits the needs of an organization or a group, we're able to accommodate. And so, yeah, we're on pause with those as well. We're starting to schedule the July, August, and then into the fall already for those trainings. So if you're interested, definitely reach out. But it is that great way to start this conversation. It is a huge privilege, and we feel so lucky to be able to be this resource for so many of the other amazing organizations in this area, and continue to offer that.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your specialties are? So I mentioned how I focus a lot on like teen dating violence and domestic violence at large. What do you tend to focus on?
Yeah, so two of my main areas of expertise, first of all, are through our agency, we are funded by the Office of Victim Services. So we work with all victims of crime across all of our programs, but specifically in my role, people who have been targeted by a hate crime or by bullying is a big one. Things like that when they come up because of someone's LGBTQ identity. That's where I am able to step in to be that advocate, to go through that process so people aren't alone trying to figure out what their rights are and how to sort that out. So I do a lot of know your rights work as well, especially with youth around the Dignity for All Students Act in our schools here in New York State, so that I can make sure that they know that they have a right to a safe learning environment that isn't hostile, where they're respected and met with appropriate behavior from their peers and from faculty and staff as well. So I am able to walk you through the DASA reporting process in their individual school districts. I'm always happy to talk about it because that's something that I could have definitely used when I was younger. So I'm very passionate about it. The other thing too that I am able to assist with is for people who are legally seeking a name change or a gender marker change. I am able to help illuminate the steps to that process. And as an advocate, if there are obstacles or things that people run up against going through their transitions or through those processes at all, I'm a second person to help suss it out and figure out a good way forward. We also are really lucky that we've got strong relationships with organizations like Law New York and the Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund, so that if people are facing challenges in regards to their transition and those legal issues, I can facilitate those connections.
Yeah, so we are sort of a one-stop shop between our agency or our program within our agency and then our agency at large. We have therapists, we have school-based advocates, we have domestic violence advocates. We've got really any service you would need related to some form of advocacy. Our agency provides that. So we are very excited to be able to work with our community and to continue expanding into our community. And I always tell the people I work with that it's very much a choose your own adventure. So you lead the way, we follow, and then if things don't work the way we wanted them to, we go back to the drawing board and try again. It's very person-centered, person-oriented, and person-led. And we are really lucky to be able to provide this service to our community at large. So we're going to continue updating our Facebook pages as more things happen. We know that June is jam-packed full of stuff, but we did want to take a break in all of our activities to sort of let you know that this isn't something that just happens 1 month a year. Our programming exists all year round, and we are accessible all year round. Mitch and I can almost always be reached, and if one of us can't be, our supervisor is always right there ready to help. So anything that you guys need, we are here to help you with, and if we don't have the answer already, we'll find it together. So we're really excited to continue working with the community, and any questions or things that you think of that you might need to know or would want to know, you can always reach out to us.
Yeah. So happy Pride, and we hope that you're enjoying all of the festivities.
Happy Pride.
Bye. Bye.